You know what? A single research paper can massively increase your chances of studying abroad, getting a scholarship and getting into a top university, but most students never end up writing one. Not because they can't write, but because they just don't have an idea. They don't have a research system. So today, in this video, I'm going to show you a simple system how to build a research paper with no fake citations, without plagiarism, step by step using Skywork AI. So in this entire video, I will make a research paper with you guys. Also remember, a normal research paper can take a week to 2 weeks to just write. And other than that, if you're looking at a very in-depth, detailed research paper, it can also take you a couple of months. In this video, I'm making something very easy, something very basic, so that you get an idea, where do I start? What do I exactly do? And in that case, first thing you need to do is pick a research question that is actually doable. So you basically have to look at what excites you and which is that one field you want to go in. Anything that excites you. It can be anything. Your research paper can start with one sentence, not a topic, just a question. Now, what is an example of that? What is the relationship between X and Y in the context of Z? And why does it matter? A real life example can be, does nighttime social media use affect academic performance amongst first year students? So you understand how specific it is. First of all, you have to figure out who are the people who use social media at nighttime. So you understand what you're exactly looking at. You have to look at people who use social media at the nighttime. And then you have to see their academic performance, and specifically for whom? Who are in their first year. Now, other than that, you can also write a research paper about what factors predict scholarship selection success among Indian applicants. I think that is a research paper I should be writing. I mean, that makes so much sense for me. Now, if you're sitting there and still thinking, Murad, you're saying stuff, but I still don't know what do I write my research paper about? Like, still don't have any idea. Just open Skywork's deep research, and here, I will go on deep research. Okay? And then I will just type a broad idea like Indian stock market research and then search. So now it gives you a bunch of professional data, like it talks about Federal Reserve's economic data, it talks about FinHub, it talks about your FIG share. What I will next ask this is, so it is at the same time showing me what all it is researching about. ऑटोमेटिकली खुद से रिसर्च कर रहा है मेरे लिए. अब इसने मुझे वहीं से रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस इन इंडियन स्टॉक मार्केट दे दिया है. Okay, I could have written about any of the finance topics, but one thing that excites me a lot is how does a price to earning ratio affect in general the stock price of something. For someone who is not from finance, let's try to understand the psychology behind it. Price to earning ratio means price is what you pay and earning is what you make. So let's suppose you're paying 100 rupees for anything, and it is giving you 10 rupees in return. Then the price to earning ratio is 100 price, 10 earning, 100 by 10, that is PE of 10. So is that better, or you paying 100 for something and getting 5 in return? Their PE is 20. So a PE of 20 is bad and PE of 10 is better, right? At the same time, a PE of, let's suppose you're paying 100 and getting 20 in return, that means the PE is 5. That means it should be even better. Right? Itna you understood that the lower the P, the better it is. But if I tell you that best companies out there in the world, Tesla is at a PE of 350. 350. That means if I invest 1 rupee, it will take me 350 years to receive my money back. That is how bad it is. At the same time, some bad companies, you will see, I don't want to name some bad companies, but in general, go in the stock market and check PEs of different companies. You'll see some companies have a PE of 5, 6, but they will be actually bad companies. So how does price to earning ratio affect the stock price and the future stock price? That is what I want to write a research paper about. Sounds very interesting to me. Now first you've decided your question. Now you have to add rules. Because if I keep the horizon as broad as the world, there are so many problems that will come. So I'll have to narrow it down and I'll have to have scopes, rules, so that I don't go out of proportion and start talking about anything and everything. In my case, what I've decided is that I will only be checking data of last 10 years. You can use 10 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years, whatever. But then just 10 years and not cherry picking the data. Entire 10 years, pura data use karunga, but for the 10 years, not more than that. Second, I'm thinking just to use Nifty 50 ka price and TR, total return index of that. Not that मैं S&P का भी देखूंगा, इसका भी देखूंगा, उसका भी देखूंगा, सब. Just one factor, Nifty 50 is what I'm going to look at. Third, there is something called trailing PE and there is something called leading PE. I'm just looking at the trailing PE. That is something mine. Now for you guys, what you need to know that the geography should ideally be picked as like one. Just choose one country. Don't go and expand yourself beyond that. Or if not one country, you can also choose a group. But then the group should have similarities like European Union or GCC. Don't choose like a lot of things together because then you can start getting conflicting results. अब आपकी limitation set होगी. Now you will talk about different types of studies that you have to do because now you've decided that you're going to talk about a very important topic. You need to study about those topics and you need to get data about those topics. Now, how do you get data about those topics? There are basically three modes. There is one called survey study, interview study, and literature-based paper. Now, decide what kind of research paper you're producing. What is survey study? You collect quantitative data from asking people questions, questionnaires. You will have seen someone ask you to fill a Google form. Why are they asking you to fill a Google form? So that they can take out data from this and write a research paper. Second can be an interview study. You collect qualitative insights by talking to people and extracting themes. Now here you're not asking specific quantitative questions but qualitative questions. And the third one is literature-based paper. Now no new data is collected. People are not asked about this. What you do is you build a research paper on existing research, existing data. You just find that data on the internet somewhere, or you go and see different government articles, reports, and all those things and collate data from there and then write your research paper. Okay, so now in my case, I'm using quantitative archival research paper. That means I'm not interviewing anyone. I'm not running surveys. I'm just using existing data like Nifty 50 and its PE ratios history and the price returns and testing a clear rule. Now, this is important. The scope. If you have a clear, crisp scope first, and that's your approach, that is the backbone of a very strong research. Now next, go to Skywork again and open the document mode or the document agent. This is where you'll write and build the section. Now if you're here, what you have to select is first a deep research, second add scenes, and it gives you business reports. Now in our case, you can see that what we are doing is evaluations and trend analysis. So it is very important to click that as well. Now we're here. Now let's talk about what was our research question. Our research question was, how does price to earning ratio affect our returns? Now, how do we improve this question? Now, if you look at the average of price to earning ratio of Nifty 50, the Indian stock market index, it is somewhere between 70 to 20. It goes low as well. It has gone to 11 sometimes also when it is oversold. But let's consider a number 17. So what we do in our analysis is that we buy Nifty 50 when it is at 70 and we sell it when it is somewhere at 20. You know what? I've already written down the prompt. Let's use this. Buy Nifty 50 when it is 17 and then sell it 25 when it crosses 25 or after 12 months, whichever comes first. Also add transaction costs, taxes, and all the assumptions. Even a basic flat cost is fine, but add all those. I've given it everything. And at the same time, I have to tell it the parameters. There are 3 parameters that I had already written. Use at least 10 to 20 years of data so that I'm not cherry picking. We are not cherry picking. Nifty 50 price or total return index history and Nifty 50 trailing PE time series. I think I just want to add a few things. So we are writing. I accidentally clicked on submit. Let's see what it does now. Panic. I think it actually got what we're saying. It actually understood what we're saying. So what data do you want me to use? Upgrade your membership to unlock professional data and benefits. Let's upgrade it. Now, while Skywork is generating an entire research paper for me, you need to know that while you're using an AI for research, a lot of normal AI tools can actually generate fake citations. They'll show you a paper, an author, even the year when it was written. But when you search it, that doesn't even exist. That's why you should never be blindly trusting an AI when it comes to academic source citations. What I like about Skywork, and that is why I'm recommending you it is, it's a deep research feature. It's connected to 430 plus academic databases and can search real Google Scholar literature. It also can read long PDFs and other research papers and keeps track of all this context while not hallucinating, which is honestly one of the hardest parts of doing research. Oh wait, we've got something. So we've got our quantitative research, financial research report, evaluating the efficacy of PE as a mechanical trading indicator. Bro, I didn't even write the full thing and it already told me. It is giving me the date I've written this research paper, what we do, when we buy, when we sell. So we have the executive summary, we have the introduction and objectives, we have the methodology. Bro, it's amazing. It is giving me data, but it is giving me only a few entry signals. Research paper. So most free AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini can help you generate an outline, but they can't actually go through 15 or 20 complex academic papers and show you where the arguments agree or where they disagree. Majority of the times, what you tell them will be the truth. And here, it is actually telling me the research paper that I was trying to write is not as great because of low signal frequency here. And inefficiency of 12-month exit is suboptimal. Value investments can take 24 to 36 months, and also it is also considering 12.5% LTCG. High efficacy for downside. Let's see what it does when I ask him to give me data on a daily basis. Hey guys, welcome back to Marathon Run. आज तो I completely forgot कि आज ईद का दिन है. कल I was sick and I was still recording a video. And आज ईद के दिन भी I'm recording a video. But anyhow, हम लोगों के पास जो final research paper that we have written is now here. And let's see the research paper. There are some very interesting things that have come out of this research paper. Now, overall, this is what it says. This is the rule, assumptions. And this is very interesting. That number of trades, there are two things that we could have done. We could have just bought Nifty and not sold it at all. 2005 mein Nifty ko we would have bought. Jan 2024 tak we could have not sold it. That was one trade. And on the other hand, there was a time where we could have bought Nifty and total 68 trades with 17 ke PE pe kharida, 25 ke PE pe becha. And in that case, our return would have only been 205%. On the other hand, wahan pe, if we had not bought and sold it, if we had just bought it once, our return would have been 1017%. So overall, this strategy is terrible. I read it on the internet that this is a good strategy. I now just have a research paper that it is actually not a good strategy. There is a notable maximum drawdown of 28%. But overall, that strategy would have made more money, which is just so interesting. Also, what I love about Skywork AI is it also gives you articles, references, data sources, where it has taken it from. There is Kaggle it is using, Nifty obviously it is using. Other than that, you might also see it using some Google Docs. Very crisp, clear, tells you where it is taking the data from. Now, this was an easy topic that I made a video on. Easy research paper. Should I submit this research paper in itself? No. This is just your start. You can use this platform. You can take 2 days and continuously work on this. It took me 15 minutes, and then I did not want to wait for it to complete the process, so it took around 10 minutes to complete the process. So 25 minutes to write this entire research paper. On the other hand, imagine if you take 2 days of your time to write a research paper. What else do you have to do? Other than this, you also have to backtest the data, and you can also ask Skywork that this is a hard prompt, but let's see what it says. Let me give it another 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, we might have something interesting. Okay, guys. Data load हो रहा है. खुद लिख रहा है ये एक research paper. I am excited. Let's see क्या होता है. Anyhow, जो ये overall है, they've talked about the net returns, gross returns. But this is how you can start writing a research paper. Is this complete research paper? No, but this is where you start. You were facing difficulty, you did not even know where to start. Now you know where to start. इसको कितना ज़्यादा you can bring your own expertise, कितना ज़्यादा you can analyze. You know the platform, you know the tools. Now it is all on you to do it. And don't ask me कि भाई मेरे को नहीं पता कहाँ से करूँ. Now you know everything. Just get started here. Try Skywork AI. It is actually not bad. And at the same time, if you liked this video, extracurricular activities पे video आने वाला था, वो नहीं अभी तक बना, because if this video gets 1000 likes, then we make a video on extracurricular activities. But इसके अलावा, if you plan to study abroad, this video is for you. ये video देखो, मजा आ जाएगा.